And thank you so much for joining me on the way forward. It is a pleasure to have you. And it is also a pleasure to have yet another addition to the 504 Influencers series. And her name would be Kiana Terrell. She is the founder of the NOLA Miles Club. How are you? How's everything going?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much, Eddie, for having me. I'm really excited to, talk about NOLA Miles Club and just share, I think, the impact that it's having on the city.
Let's talk about it. But before we get to it, let's talk about you. So I like to find out where our influencers are from, where you're from. Where'd you go to school? How'd you get into your career?
Yeah, so I'm originally from West Palm Beach, Florida, which is South Florida, born and raised. I went to undergrad at St. John's University in New York.
Yeah.
So that was 2012 to 2016, and then went back home for a year and then decided that I wanted to get my master's of health administration from the University of Central Florida in Orlando. Once I left there in 2019, I actually came to New Orleans to do an administrative fellowship at Ochsner Health System. So that's really how I got started. I could probably go into a lot of detail. I don't want to bore people, but started there. Was there doing COVID, so was doing a lot of vaccines and testing, but for the whole system. So really was doing operations and really a lot of strategy and just working with different partners within the system of how do we get out. I think at one point we did 500,000 vaccinations, and this was
Wow.
in 2021. So we had the solution to COVID, and just really from an operation standpoint, being able to operationalize it and then push it out to the rest of the system is what I was doing in 2021. So a lot of fun, a lot of background, I would say, and like I said, operations and strategy for sure.
Okay. Okay. So I don't want to take this off the rails and get
Yeah,
controversial, but how many vaccinations did you say you handled?
we were doing probably like 500,000 at one point, and I think that was within under 9 months.
Oh,
But the way
wow.
that we were doing it was we were doing mass vaccination. So we were doing drive-through vaccinations
Oh, yeah.
on the Toronto
Yeah.
airline. So that was like the project that I was doing, and we were. I think one weekend we got 10,000 vaccines out in one
Wow.
weekend. So a
Oh,
really good
you know
time.
what? I actually did one of those
Are you serious?
vaxes.
So if
Yeah, I
you,
did
yeah,
one of
it
the
was
drive
probably.
through at the shrine.
Yep, yep. So that was actually my team that I put together, and we were able. Yep. I was working. This was, I'll say, a year or two prior to that. I was started in the fellowship. So,
Yeah.
the administrative fellowship, you work with an executive of the like different system within Oshner. So, I was actually when I started doing the vaccinations, I was working with the COO of that service line at the time. So I'm able to like sit in on all these meetings and figure out how do we take something really larger than life that we've never seen before and really
Yeah.
like put it out to the whole system and really impact not just New Orleans but Louisiana. Like that was a good time. So I'm actually excited that you that you got to see
Yeah.
that. Like it was a really good time.
Yeah, and I've been to your alma mater, St. John's, the beautiful rows of roses on
Yeah,
campus. It is a
great
really
wine.
cool campus.
Yeah, it is. It's really beautiful and historic. I forgot when it opened. This is terrible that this is my alma mater.
That's
I
okay.
forgot when it was founded, but it's a really nice campus for sure in like Jamaica, Queens, New York.
Yeah, yeah. Don't worry, there's no quiz. You're fine. Only when you do something related to the alumni, and that's between you and them. Okay, so
Right, no, right. That's true. I just don't want any of my classmates to be like, girl, you don't remember. I'm like, I'm so sorry. So no. I yeah, no, St. John's is beautiful.
so your buddy Bianca Cook insisted
Yeah.
insisted that I talk to you, and I'm more than happy to do it because of the nature of what you do. You're the founder of NOLA Miles Club.
Mhm.
So first of all, tell us what it is and why you started it.
Yeah, so Nola Mouse Club is a wellness collective that started out 2 years ago. So we started April 20th, 2024. And we started out really as like a running and walking club. I think after April 20th was a Saturday, and we started at City Park. After our very first meetup, so very first meetup, we had 37 people. The second meetup, we had 100. And within,
Wow.
I'll say like 6 months, we were probably averaging like 150, 200 people coming to these meetups, right?
Wow.
I think like Nola Mouse Club kind of quickly told us what it was going to be. Initially, again, it was like, oh, we're just going to walk and run every Saturday. And then it was like, well, maybe we should like extend to Wednesdays, but we'll do it every other Wednesday and we'll do it every other Saturday. But it grew so quickly. And NOLA Mouse Club now, like I said earlier, is really a wellness collective. So we do walks and runs, but we also do community service. We do community workouts. Really trying to give like a platform to uh, what is it? Just giving a platform to like other physical instructors. So we have personal trainers, physical therapists, yoga instructors. I always say like NOLA Mouse Club's goal is really three things. So it's health, community, and connection. So
Mm-hmm.
Louisiana is unfortunately, Louisiana goes back and forth between Mississippi being number 49th or 50th when it comes to health outcomes. So, how do we do our best and move the needle on health outcomes, right? And I think it starts just like everyday things when we talk about like social determinants of health and things like that.
Yeah.
It literally you getting a friend and like, let's go for a 30-minute walk, or after we leave NOLA Mouse Club, let's make a healthier decision and things like that. So that's really our thing is the health piece, the community piece. Like I said, grabbing a friend and holding each other accountable. Um, I think prior to NOLA Mouse Club, a lot of the run clubs in different cities that I saw was really like it wasn't big on a social piece. So
Yeah.
everything that we do is very intentional to just ensure that we are able to like make that connection between people. We've actually had somebody get engaged like 2 weeks ago that met at NOLA Mouse Club.
Oh, that's cool.
That's so cool, right? So we also, I mean, we've had people become best friends. We've had people
Yeah.
meet each other and then start businesses here at NOLA Mouse Club. So really that connection piece, because you can only go so far going alone, but when you do it together, you're going to really see like the impact of us going further. So that's really our big thing. So health, community. And then the third piece is connection. So we want to be able to get our community connected to some local and then also national resources. So like I said earlier, we have some personal trainers, physical therapists. We've partnered with wealth management firms. So I know J.E. Cohen is a wealth management firm here in Louisiana. We partner with them to just be able to give our people, like wherever they're seeing the gaps at in their life, being able to fill that and get them the resources for it. We've also had real estate agents come and speak. Anything that people have a need for, we're trying to get that filled. In turn of that, like the community getting those resources, I think it's also those businesses getting eyes on them, right? Because we have over 20,000 followers. We have an email listserv of 10,000. We're seeing about 300 to 400 people a week come out. So really, how do we also, when it comes to economic development in New Orleans, how do we also push those people to those businesses? So it's been a fun 2 years for sure.
So I'm interested in what people have said as they have come to do stuff with NOLA Miles Club. Has it been like, I saw it on social media, I've been looking for something like this, I'm so glad it's happening? Or has it been, yeah, I saw it on social media and I was just curious. I'm trying to figure what y'all
Yeah,
doing. I mean, what kinds of reactions
yeah.
do you hear that you've gotten a bulk of?
Yeah, I'll say it's probably a bit of both.
Yeah.
I think, and it's probably a third thing also, which I'll tell you, but I think it's a bit of both of like people are seeing it. They may have sat on it for X amount of time because
Yeah.
maybe they were a little nervous. And then it
Yeah.
was something that finally got them out there, right? Maybe they were like, oh, my coworker told me that they go to NOLA Mouse Hub every Wednesday. And I decided to, let me, go ahead and do it. I think that's the thing. Another thing is us just running outside or even walking outside or
Oh yeah.
doing a workout. People are like, what is this? Like, I see y'all run past my house every single Wednesday night or even Saturday morning. Like, what is this? So I think it's a number of things, but I think for sure people are. I think the biggest thing is like people are definitely curious, and I think a lot of people are looking for um, community. Like I think that's a
Hmm.
big thing that we had lost for so long is like third spaces and just community that like people are seeking community, and when they find it, I think they quickly latch onto it.
Mm. What inspires you personally to get New Orleanians to invest in their health?
Mm. Um, I think my purpose really, like, every day I'm really attached to my purpose. And I know, me getting my health administration, masters, and then working in population health, like I see,
Mm.
right? Like I've seen up close, like the impact when we talk about just like patients going to the hospital or families being like broken up because, let's say the grandma wasn't healthy or the dad wasn't healthy or the grandpa.
Yeah.
And it's really generational. I think that's probably my biggest thing is like Louisiana deserves the resources and it really deserves like I think all of the energy and all of the eyes and all of the resources to make it a healthier place because it's really, especially New Orleans. Well, I don't want to say especially, but I'll say especially just Louisiana in general, and I think the nation in general, like Black folks in general, we really do deserve to like live healthy lives
Yeah.
and be able to live till we're 100 and be able to live with our families and be happy. So I think that's probably my drive every day to like when I'm thinking and planning NOLA Miles Club things, I'm like, how do we do this in a way where it's fun, it's communal, but it's still going to impact us like as a whole.
You're listening to The Way Forward. I'm Eddie Francis, and we're talking to Kiana Terrell. She is the founder of NOLA Miles Club. And I want to go back to your last response, and I want to highlight a specific word that you use, deserve.
Mm.
Um, Louisianans deserve to be healthy. Black folks deserve to be healthy. Why the word deserve?
I think every human being deserves, like I think it's a like a birthright that everybody has, but I think for the longest, especially, I won't go too deeply into it, but I think especially like a place like Louisiana, like I think it's a reason why it's 49th, and I don't think
Listen,
it's
this is the place to go deeply into it
yeah,
if you want to. I mean, because I like the fact that you use the word deserve.
yeah,
Um, and I really, in my experiences as a native New Orleanian, um, I've heard my fellow Black New Orleanians not
hmm
necessarily say it this way, but we can definitely detect people feeling as if they don't deserve to be healthy. They don't deserve to be wealthy. They don't deserve to
yeah,
be highly educated.
yeah,
And so I'm elated that you use the word deserve. It seems like an intentional word.
yeah. Yeah, I think too, even if people don't say the word deserve, I think that like I hear a lot of people come out to know about something. They're like, "Oh, I want to come," but like this is not who I am as a person. I think
Right.
people tie their identities to like, I'm not a runner or I don't get outside and walk or I can't be healthy. It's like something that they've been like fed that they can't do these things. And
Hmm.
I think to your point, like the word deserve is intentional because it's like we all deserve like to be able to live a healthy life and to be
Hmm.
happy, because it's not even just like how we look physically, it's also like us, like a big part of Nola Mouse Club is really the social piece. And
Yeah.
like that social piece goes so far, especially when we talk about mental health.
Yeah.
Or let's say, Eddie, I see you on Wednesday night, and then I'm like, Eddie, you coming out on Saturday? Like that right there is just like we're holding each other accountable in a fun way, right? Like I'm not like, Eddie, why didn't you do this? I'm
Yeah.
truly like, Eddie, I'll see you on Saturday. Okay. Now we're gonna be like, all right, well, I get to see my friend Eddie on Saturday. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure that I come, right? Like we've had somebody, and I actually recognized her last Wednesday on Global Running Day, but she's been to Nola Mouse Club. I pulled her number. She's been to Nola Mouse Club 150 times.
Oh goodness, you got data. Yeah.
Like I think the impact on her life, like she's been able to lose weight, she's
Mhm.
made all these friends. I know she got like promoted a new job because someone had told her at Nolan Mouse Club about a role. So
Oh
it's all these,
wow.
yeah, so it's all these things that it's like that social piece is so big, and we could literally come there, run, and go home, but we when we come there, we run, and then we've partnered with other businesses too to do like socials afterwards.
Yeah.
So it's been a great thing. So I do think people for sure deserve that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because the flips, and I don't want to harp on it, but the
Yeah.
flip side of it um, is there will be people who I think about times that people get so overwhelmed by good news, like the
Mm,
news that you just shared about the member. They get so overwhelmed by good news. they'll break down and say things like, I just don't deserve all of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the immediate question for me is, well, why don't you think so? You
Yeah.
know, I mean,
Yeah.
we deserve to
Yeah.
be happy. We deserve to
Yeah.
be, again, healthy and wealthy
Yeah.
and all of these things.
Yeah.
Um, what do you want people to feel or think about New Orleans, especially as a transplant? What do you want people
Yeah.
to think about New Orleans when they see your content with NOLA Miles Club?
Wow, that's a really good question. I feel like I every time we post content, we always think through that of like if
Mm-hmm.
someone was, visiting from out of town, like what's something that we would want them to think of New Orleans. But um I think our content is fun and it's like we're super intentional with making our content fun, right? Because I think New Orleanians are a fun, loving people. And I
Mm-hmm.
want to be able to embody that in our content. But also I think that we also take care of business. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think taking care of business is like taking care of ourselves, right? Because the people who take care of themselves also show up for the city, they pour back into the city. So like I said, we do community service once a month as well. We're doing different spotlights for different businesses, right? So I'm super intentional every time our team does something. We try to partner with a local business so we can be able to drive, revenue to that business. Just going back to economic
Mm-hmm.
development, but again, I think that we handle business as well. So, and again, business is like we take care of ourselves. And I think when people see like New York, they're like, or Miami, right? It's like, oh, well, those people, they're healthy, they look good. But it's like, we're going to drink, eat crawfish and have a party, but we can show up for ourselves, run, walk,
Mm-hmm.
exercise, do community service, and then we'll meet at, to get some crawfish afterwards. But I think, yeah,
So, as someone who is from Florida, you've lived in New York, you're here in New Orleans. I'm really curious about something. I had this experience when I lived in Dallas. I had a personal trainer. I was
hmm
very dedicated. I mean, I was probably in the best shape I had been in physically since probably I was in my late 20s, early 30s, or something like that. And at the time, I was in my 40s. Um, what is it about New Orleans though? Because as soon as I got back home, I mean,
yeah,
it was a whole different ball game, and I have spent the past few years going, well, what is it? I mean, I could certainly get another personal trainer, but the motivation isn't quite the same. As someone who is not from New Orleans, what are
yeah.
some of your observations about the lifestyle that might do that with, especially someone who was in healthcare?
Yeah, I think I think through my experience with NOLA Mouse Club, and then also, like I said, working in healthcare. Because after I left Oshner, I was actually the director of population health um, for Louisiana and Mississippi at the company I was working at.
Mm,
But I think both things that I see is I think we just don't. I think it's a loaded question, but I think is one. I think sometimes the resources may be lacking,
yeah.
and then I think with Miami and living in New York, right, or even West Palm Beach is a very healthy city as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think in Florida, especially South Florida, right, like that Palm Beach, Miami area, Fort Lauderdale too, and New York, I think it's the cool thing to do.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
New York, they're doing, marathons and half marathons. And if you're not doing it, you're not cool. Same thing with
Mm.
Miami, right? It's like me and my mom had stayed in Miami one time. And I remember like we were just walking this strip and we were like, oh my God, like everybody looks good. Everybody's getting the green juice. Everybody's hair is done. And we went back to the hotel and we're like, okay, let's go back and get dressed up and let's so like let's go do a workout really quick. But
Yeah.
I do think that it's that social piece too, right? It's like
Yeah.
everybody else, like it's what is it? I think it's like the influence type of thing, and I think with Nola Mouse Club, that's why I'm like with the social content and the social media thing that we do. I think we want to make it look fun because it's something funny. We actually a month ago, it rained really bad, and we still showed up. We had maybe like 20, 30 people come,
Hmm.
and we were like, "This is a perfect moment for us to capture." because I think a lot of people feel like, oh, our community is sometimes like, oh, if it's raining, we're not going.
Right.
But you got to see like these, like just pure joy from everybody who showed up, was just
Oh
running in the rain and
man.
having a good time. Like
Yeah.
we were trying to really capture that. It was intentional, right? Like let's capture that to show people, hey, we do show up, we run. And then next time if it rains, we will be here and you can come. But I do think it starts there of like, even as we build the resources in Louisiana to have, I think it also is one of like, hey, this is a way of life and like everybody's doing it. You need to do it too.
That makes sense though, because that's how Dallas is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dallas is a city. I mean, vanity is a thing in Dallas,
Yeah.
and so people like to look good. They
Yeah.
love to look good.
Yes.
But I can also remember I can also remember growing up and, being a New Orleanian. I can remember growing up and you would have the people who would really get into their physical health. They would go
Mm,
work out. And the first question is, you play football? You an athlete?
mm.
Because the thought is you have to be you have to be an athlete or something to be working out all the time.
Yeah.
And then then I heard people, some brother gets kind of built like, ooh, okay, he man. And so they
Right.
start they start making
Right.
fun of the cat who's getting kind of muscular. And then I've even heard people say, oh, you're gonna die all that working out.
All right.
So, but it is the quirkier side of New Orleans, I think.
Yeah.
And so that does make sense to me. One question I have to ask, and I pull this question on Bianca, so I have to ask you too.
Yes.
And this is just petty. Um, the use of NOLA. Has anybody ever said anything to you about the use of NOLA? Because I'm trying to make sense of this whole NOLA debate, and it as somebody who has always seen the designation NOLA, and I'm going on 56.
Yeah.
NOLA isn't new to me. But for whatever reason, there's a certain group of people who believe that if you use NOLA, you must have come here after Katrina and you must be trying to do a NOLA takeover of the city and rename it.
Right.
I don't know what but has anybody ever said anything to you about that?
Nobody has said anything. I have seen like the social discourse on like Twitter or threads of like, please stop coming here and using the word NOLA.
Oh, Threads is
So
the worst.
oh my God. So I try like, I try to, my whole thing is like, I only want to pour into New Orleans. So I also don't
Yeah.
want to like, I don't want to disrespect. So I think outside of like the name NOLA Miles Club, anytime I talk about New Orleans, I don't say NOLA. Like for that reason.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't want to be disrespectful. Like, I don't want somebody coming to West Palm Beach and disrespecting West Palm Beach. Like,
Right.
I'm not
Right.
trying to come here and disrespect anybody's thing, but I've seen that on Twitter and threads, and it's funny, but I'm also like, okay, like I get it. I try really hard not to say it.
Right. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so wait, hold on. You mentioned Threads. Is it me or does everybody on Threads needs a hug? People on Threads need a hug, I think.
Yeah, I try not to stay too long on it. Like it is funny, but sometimes they go a
See,
little in. They go in.
they do. They do. I mean, I just like people on Threads hate stuff, and you're like, okay, you don't just dislike it, you hate it.
Oh, they hate it. Yeah.
Like the whole anti LinkedIn thing is just that is a phenomenon to me.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh, there's a heavy anti LinkedIn culture on Threads, which if it's
Oh,
not your thing, I get that. That's cool. But there are
yeah.
people who are like, shut it down. I'm like, you aren't even saying that about Truth Social, for goodness sakes. I mean, what is the deal?
It's shut.
I did something today. I deleted my LinkedIn profile. I'm like,
Oh,
congratulations.
wow, I never saw that. I think it's helpful for like maybe like team building. Like if like when I worked, at my last like role, I think it was helpful for like me to be connected to the CEO and like him to see the updates that I had and stuff. But I do think LinkedIn has gotten very performative.
Oh
So,
yeah,
oh
yeah,
yeah, I mean that's
yeah.
been since like COVID, like
That's what it's going to be.
yeah,
Every platform is going to have its stuff with
yes,
it.
yes.
Every single one.
They said shut it down. That is hilarious. Wait, so were you on Twitter at any point? Because I feel like if you were on Twitter, you wouldn't think Threads is too crazy.
So that's the thing. To me, Threads is like Black Twitter 2.0.
Oh, okay.
It is because Twitter started getting even before Twitter became X.
Yes,
It
yes.
started getting kind of. I mean,
Yeah,
people were mad about stuff. And you're like, so what are you angry about again?
yeah,
And
that's
they're
true.
just like, stop gaslighting me. I just asked what you were angry about.
You deflected. It's like,
Yeah, everybody became a psychologist on
right,
Twitter.
literally, like your feelings are valid. Like, what are you saying? Yeah, that is them. That's actually true. Yeah.
So what is your dream? And listen, I you just come across as a wonderful person to me.
Oh,
So
thank
however
you.
long we can keep you in New Orleans, I'm all
Yeah,
for it.
yeah, yeah.
But I also realize you're young, you got a bright future, and that's going to take you wherever it takes you. That being said, what is your dream for the future of New Orleans?
Yeah. I believe the children. No, I'm kidding. No, I think I think you can keep that in there seriously, but
That
I
stays in.
think
That's going to stay in both the audio and the video.
um I think by the future of New Orleans, like honestly, I think I would really love for. I know when Mayor Moreno was running, I think she put out a really good like statistic, which was or some put out really good data, and it was behind. I think since 2021, I think it was like 190,000 people have left New Orleans.
Hmm.
Um, through the work that we're doing, and I think sometimes it's like I think we're a lot of the background stuff, like Nola Miles Club is doing it, but do the work that we're trying to do. And like I said, the health piece, right? Like I think those are all things that goes into people wanting to return to the city, right?
Yeah.
So that health piece, like, is a healthier place? If I need something, can I get it right away? I think a lot of people move to Houston, right? Or Atlanta or Dallas, right? Those are places where people can get a resource or people are getting influenced by their friends to like, oh, this is a healthier place. And like, we go get matcha afterwards or something like that, right? But like those are all things. So I think that health piece, that community piece, like I want people to know that it's stuff to do in New Orleans. And I think a lot of times people are like, oh, it's nothing to do. And it's like, well, hey, we're here every Wednesday and Saturday. We do community service. We also throw parties once a month. So we actually got a party coming up, the 20th, Juneteenth party. But this is a shameless plug. But I think a lot of people think it's not anything to do, but it's like it's stuff to do here. And I think that third piece like is the economic development. So we are always partnering with different businesses. And again, if I have 300 people that's coming out a week who trust Nola Mouse Club, and we have that influence over them, and I can tell them like, hey, this is the place where we go hang out at weekends, or this is the place where we go get dinner at, or where we get food from or clothes from right before a race. Like they listen, and I've seen every time we've partnered with different people, we usually have like a conversion of like 92% of people who actually show up to these things.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are all things that we're trying to do, and the end goal with that is like, how do we make this city vibrant, which it already is, but I think how to, like, I know Mayor Moreno's thing was like, how do we get those people to come back to the city?
Mm-hmm.
I feel the same way. And I've heard that time and time again, even from New Orleanians, of like, man, the city used to be so much better, like, even pre-COVID or pre-Katrina, but it's like, how do we get to that? And how do we also, I think from that health perspective, like Louisiana should not be number 49th. Like, how do we get it to be 40th, right? Like within the next several years, like how do we do that? So I think that's my goal for New Orleans for sure, and Louisiana.
Outstanding. Kiana Terrell, she is the founder of the Nola Miles Club. Thank you so much for joining me on the way forward.
Thank you so much for having me.